Well, hey, welcome to Live at 8. My name is John. It's great to see you guys. Happy Friday to you. And we are talking today about Friday Why Day. That is the theme every Friday. We are talking about our why. And here with me on the show, as always on Fridays, none other than Tommy Bowman and Dan Ruda. What's up, fellas?
How's it going, John? Happy Friday.
Labor Day weekend. Happy Friday, everybody.
Yes, that's right.
Tommy's
You
ready.
guys
we're gonna need
grilling
to- we're gonna
or
need to-
smoking anything?
Yeah. I got a gift card for my birthday to Wheaton Meat Company.
Ooh,
Yeah. So I'm gonna be doing something real nice this weekend.
Their stuffed burgers are
Oh my gosh,
phenomenal.
amazing.
what's your choice stuffing? for
I
your
like
burger?
the jalapeno and cheddar.
Ooh,
So good.
from there.
From there, yeah. they're
Oh,
the best.
I've never had that one.
Yep. They have
Okay.
a bacon and cheddar one too. That's pretty good.
Okay. Well, folks can see us that are watching this live at wearemission.online. So why don't you
Love
say
it.
hello? Say hello to everybody, guys.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm sure your backgrounds look as inspiring as mine.
I mean, that's amazing.
I scribbled some stuff before we started this so people, think I actually work here.
Tommy's
So,
like diagrams.
Yeah, I think that's your fantasy football draft. Actually.
yeah,
You
it's
zoom
right,
in.
right back there.
You zoom in,
That's
yeah,
great.
yeah. And hey, we have people watching on YouTube, and so that's where a lot of folks are catching this show, and people on Instagram. So hello to everyone, however you're watching this. Sharing is caring. Let's get the word out. And we have a whole bunch of people that are listening, not watching, because it's a podcast. So over there at Apple Podcasts and Spotify, it's just so great that we're on this journey together. Today is called Friday Why Day because if you lose your why, you lose your way.
Way.
Right. You got it. That's right. You lose your way. And what we're doing right now as a staff, as a team, is we've been going through what I would consider top 5 best books I've ever read in my life. It is this book right here, folks, Canoeing the Mountains. Canoeing the Mountains. Go ahead and order yourself a copy. You can get to the show notes at johnpeacock.com. The show notes are there for you. And man, Tod Bolsinger, this guy's a gem. What a great book. And rumor has it, Tommy, you might be talking to him soon. Is that true?
Yeah. I will be by the time that we chat next week, I will have had the opportunity to interview him.
That's cool.
He's gonna be on my podcast that I was trying to get through the episode without bringing up, but sorry, you mentioned it. So he'll be on my podcast probably in 2 weeks.
So you got a cast. Tell us about your cast. What you got, guy?
Yeah, I think most of you guys know, but during the shelter in place, I started a podcast called Redefining Church. Kind of tells a little bit of the story, talks about our why, helping people find and follow Christ, and our vision. And it's really catered towards church leaders who want to take their church and have a movement vision. So we just kicked off season 2 this week.
That's awesome. So they can grab your podcast over at Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Pretty much
YouTube,
wherever you get
same.
podcasts. I highly recommend it. Super, super good. And I'm excited to hear about your conversation with the author of this book. What we're doing for the first 4 weeks of our Friday episodes is we're talking about a statement that's in the book. And this is what we began last Friday. And it began with start with your convictions. Start with your convictions. So that's what we talked about last week. The second component of it is what we're going to spend our time on today, which is stay calm. Stay calm. Stay calm. Stay calm. Stay calm. So we're going to talk about that. There's some great parts from that chapter on staying calm. And what we're also going to do is connect that to what's going on at Mission Church, staying calm. When it comes to leading our church, the why of our church, what's happening. All 3 venues are up and running as of last weekend. 1 church, 3 venues, online, at the building, in watch parties. So excited about that. We're going to stay calm. So let me just throw it over to Daniel J. Ruda. Stay calm. What's Tod getting at around staying calm? Why is this important?
Yeah, I think it's interesting because he talks about the calm leader. Well, one, I think it's fascinating that last time we were together, we talked about start with conviction.
Yeah.
Right. Start with conviction. And then the second thing is stay calm. So I find that really interesting. There's a whole lot of unspoken in that gap of like, you start with conviction and then guess what the next thing is? stay calm, because if you're leading anything with conviction, that is going to put you in a place of uncertainty.
Bingo.
And so then he says, hey, when it comes to a calm leader, here's what a calm leader is. This was really helpful for me. Self-aware, committed to the mission, and focuses on his or her own self in the transformation process. So to kind of boil that down, a calm leader is self-aware, committed to the mission, and is concerned with transformation. And so I just think that that's really helpful when you're thinking about, what does it look? Is it like to go into this state of just being like checked out, zen, calm? I have to just get away. No, a calm leader is self-aware, committed to the mission, and focuses on transformation in the process.
That's so good. Yeah. So we're staying calm because we've started with conviction, and our conviction is there is a way forward. We have not canceled church. That's never been in our mind. We're not sitting out the rest of 2020 saying, yeah, let's just check back in early 2021. Nope. Oh no, there is a way forward. There is a way forward. And we're discovering that together. And so we're starting with our convictions, and specifically we launched what we've called stage 3. So we are up and running all 3 venues, and it's all based on our convictions, right? Because we want to help as many people as we can find and follow Christ. We really want to do that. And we want to help people find and follow Christ by gathering, growing, and going. Why? So that one day we will experience a movement of Jesus in the 10 in our lifetime. So our convictions are our mission, our vision, our values. And as you start with those convictions, get ready, because you're going to get some feedback. You're going to get some pushback. And so you got to stay calm. You got to stay calm.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we're doing. We're just staying calm. Tommy, you staying calm over there? You're good at staying calm. Pretty calm.
Yeah.
I mean, of the 3, I'd probably say you're the best at staying calm. I mean, both of you are better at it than me, but you're I feel like kind of an
it's in my
expert at
DNA.
staying.
Yeah. It was passed down to me. But I mean, you've been saying since the beginning of this pandemic, the quote, "A fearful world needs a fearless church."
Yeah.
And that's been the case for us. We've made all of our decisions from that place. And so courage is really the word of the moment and the theme for us as a church. And I think a courageous person is first a calm person. All the things that Dan mentioned of
That's
what
good.
makes up a calm person, the self-awareness, the conviction, you've got to be at a place not of being frantic, fearful. You got to get to a place of calm to act out of courage. So I think show me a calm person. I'll show you someone that's probably doing something courageous. And so we just celebrated all these wins as a staff yesterday at our hour of power around people who are starting watch parties, people who had, the Olsons and the Tofflons got creative, had 26 people at their watch party.
Amazing.
People volunteering in new ways, making phone calls in middle school. My guess is those are people that aren't frantic right now. They're calm. They know what the Word of God says. They know what the Spirit of God is doing in them. And so they're just being courageous. And I think, and I shared this yesterday to our staff, I think this is the mark that Mission Church is going to leave in the 10 as we close out 2020 and 2021. People are going to look at us and say, they're going to be curious because of the courage that we're showing that starts from this place of calm. So I'm proud of our church. We could mention probably 20 more wins, but super proud.
Well said, TB.
Hey, thanks.
I'm liking that a lot. And a little bit of history. You guys know I love history. I think you guys love history. Who doesn't love history?
Love a little history.
Let's talk a little bit about the I mean, it's died down a little bit, but how popular all those memes were with the whole stay calm.
Yeah.
You remember that? There's so many really funny ones that came out, but there's a backstory to that whole thing. Stay calm and carry on, right? Stay calm and carry on. And it goes back to Winston Churchill, right? Back to the World War II. Tommy, I think you know a little bit about this story. You want to share a little bit about it? It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know the person's name, but at the early part of World War II, I believe it was like a newspaper reporter had sensed that this was 1939, had sensed that people, the Brits specifically, his countrymen, were beginning to get anxious, a little panicky, and so he wrote up this poster. He designed it, and it said, "Keep calm and carry on." And I just remember, because I used this in the first message I ever taught back in like 2013.
Wow.
That the reason he did that was he just thought it would like boost morale. It was a propaganda piece to just help boost morale for his countrymen. And so he had all these posters printed up, and it just reminded people what we're talking about. Hey, like, yep, there's bombs going over and that building's falling over, but what if we were to just stay calm? Are we better off surviving this thing if we freak out, or if we keep calm? So that was kind of the story behind it.
And I think what that
It
taps
works.
into, when it comes to calm, I think it mentions it in this book, John, that you've been talking about. But calm is not something that's just tactical. It's not something that's just strategic, but it's deeply emotional. It's being able to, yes, with conviction, yes, with self-awareness, and kind of reading the defense and what people around you are experiencing. It's being able to emotionally connect and rally the condition you're experiencing, the conditions that everyone around you is experiencing towards that shared conviction. And so I think, like, you know, to what Tommy just said with that whole keep calm, carry on, all that stuff, you feel something. And so a calm leader is able to lead the way first in their own self-awareness and their own rootedness, and then call out to others in a unified way to say, hey, we know that the waters at the top are choppy. All of our volunteers who are stepping out, the Taflons, the Olsons that are getting creative and doing stuff in their watch bar, it's not like they just have a ton of spare time. I mean, they're living in the same world that we are. It's choppy at the surface, but they're going to the deep, and they're going, hey, if we're gonna do one thing to help people find and follow Christ, if we're gonna be self-aware, if we're gonna be intentional about any one thing, let's do this. And it's being creative, and God's honoring it. So.
Yeah, and I like how today's conversation connects with Wednesday's conversation that I had with Brian Silver, all on Wellbeing Wednesday, and he's given us some strategies. He's a Christian therapist on how to work through the struggle. I just loved how he talked about how motion leads and emotions follow, and you know, one of the reasons we need to be aware of what in the heck's going on inside, and not only aware, but make sure is someone helping you process through all of that stuff. Not just so that you can process through all that stuff. No, it's so that you can lead right now. And every single one of you are leading something or someone. And, you know, it's like the moments when you've been on an airplane and you go through the choppiness, the turbulence, right? Well, we're in a very turbulent time. Can you imagine if during the turbulence that the cockpit door opened and the pilot came out completely frantic? That's when you literally have a meltdown, right? You're like, oh my gosh, if he or she's freaking out, we're totally screwed, right? This thing is going down. And I just think that's the picture some are giving their kids. I mean, in the morning, their kids come downstairs and there's mom and dad freaking out. Your employees, you're freaking out. There's a better way. It's to stay calm.
Yeah,
and here's the deal. You and I, we need help working through all that we're feeling, right? Because you're a human being, so am I, so that we can stay calm, so that we can lead in this cultural moment. So important.
It's good.
Yeah, it's funny you bring up turbulence. I think you guys have both flown with me. You know how much
You love it. You love it. Just
but I'll never forget. I didn't know you were going to bring this up, but I'll never forget. There was turbulence on a flight. Who knows which one? I feel like all my flights are turbulent.
That was called the
I don't know if it's because I was waving down the drink cart, or if the stewardess could just see it all over my face. But she touched my arm and she said, you know, the pilot wants to get home just as much as you, and he's prepared. He knows how to fly this thing. And so every time there's turbulence and I'm like, the plane's going to fall from the sky, I'm like, you know, the guy flying this thing, he wants to get home too. So I can just stay calm. And I think that applies so much to our spiritual lives too. Like, talk about, is cheesy as it sounds, but like the ultimate like pilot of our lives. Like, Jesus, his spirit is in us. He has gone before us. He's walked in our shoes.
That's right.
He wants to get you to where you need to go just as much as you want to get there. And by the way, he's already prepared the way for you. So yeah,
that's good.
Yeah. Love me some turbulence.
Love it.
Yeah.
And this being Friday Why Day, I mean, to go back to our why, right? It's helping people find and follow Christ. And people are following all sorts of different things today. They're following headlines. They're following stock reports. They're following job prospects, like all sorts of crazy things. And what if in this season of turbulence, I mean, if they looked at you who's watching this, if you're a follower of Jesus, and they were like, there is an optimism, there is a calm that doesn't mean order and everything's winning and awesome, but it's a calmness, it's a centeredness because you're following Jesus. What if that was what was spoken over the church in this crazy season?
Yeah.
How about this quote at the bottom of page 148? He said, to lead means to have some command of our own anxiety in some capacity, not to let other people's anxiety contaminate us.
It's good.
And, I'm going to talk about it in this weekend's message. You guys will hear it. And I've used the quote many times, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. That's one of my all-time favorite quotes. And I kind of did a little twist on it. Show me your friends and I'll show you your fall, meaning the fall you're going to have. It just makes so much sense. If you are only spending your time with anxious people that are like dying in fear right now, you yourself are going to be filled with anxiety as well. And so there's such an opportunity, I feel like, for us to show up for one another right now and not fake faith. Right. No, we're going to work through what we're feeling, right? And there's times we're going to get professional help for that. This time there's going to be a buddy across the street, whatever it might be, but we're just going to stay calm. And that is a gift. That's one of the greatest gifts I think you can give people around you right now, is your presence of saying, no, like we've not been abandoned here. We're not orphans. No, we've been adopted. God's got this. He's in charge. He knows what he's doing. And our job right now is to trust him. I read a quote from Corey ten Boom, one of my favorite quotes that I learned from the Alpha course. You guys will have to listen to it this Sunday. I don't want to give it away. A little bit of a teaser. But it's really good
quote. It's a great quote.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, when it comes to this, going back to that calm leader, self-aware to what you're saying, John, committed to the mission and focuses on his or her own self in the transformation process, right? We know Romans 12, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And probably Brian Silver and a lot of people who are in that space who are a lot smarter than me can speak to, your mind is being renewed by something.
That's right.
It's being transformed and shaped by something. And so we can either do what we are invited to do here, which is be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, which is good and pleasing. And what is renewing your mind today? And this is a new invitation for me, even on this Friday Why Day, to go, hey, when it comes back to the mission and the vision and the values and the transformation God wants to do in and through me, let's just give ourselves permission to hit a reset if needed.
Hey, let me finish with this. This will not be popular. So you guys can unsubscribe to this podcast if you don't like this. It's okay. How much people love to say this one phrase that I want us to talk about for a second. The phrase people love to say, they feel really good when they say it. They feel responsible when they say it. They feel loving when they say it. It has become the phrase that we're kind of like known for right now. The phrase is be safe. Be safe, man. Hey, be safe. Be safe. Be safe. Every direction I look, I keep hearing this phrase. Now, am I against safety? No, I'm not against it. But what happens when safety, be safe, what happens when that becomes the leading value of your life? Play that one out for me. Here's another thing we can do. How about you use that phrase, be safe, lay that over the pages of Scripture. Tell me how we theologically arrive at making that the driving force of our life. Be safe, be safe, be safe. Well, let me just tell you, if that was the leading value for Moses, he would have stayed in the desert there with his father-in-law. He had a pretty good gig going. How about Daniel? I'm not right in the lion's den. I mean, let's just keep going. How about Mary? How about Esther? How about Jesus? Over and over and over again, theologically, if we want to be theological people right now, be safe. It's not that it's not on the list, but I'd like to replace it from where it's become number one, with something else. Be courageous. Be courageous. So I know you guys have yet to hear me say be safe, and I won't say it, but I am saying a lot these days, be courageous. Be courageous. Be courageous. Be courageous. Be courageous. Doesn't mean you're not going to feel afraid. Doesn't mean you're not going to feel anxious at times. It just means that we're not going to allow fear and anxiety to control us. No, we're going to be courageous. We're going to move forward anyway. We're going to stay calm when the rest of the world's freaking out. Well, we're going to be courageous. So that's what I got. Friday Y Day.
Boom.
We're coming in at 20 minutes.
Just because I know Mark Ramondi's watching, I also wanted to celebrate. He and his wife turned in their missional action plan, an act of courage.
Yes.
So they have launched officially their missional community. It is the best missional community name, which they don't require a name, but if there's a good one, you got to have it there. In honor of Schick Road, their missional community is called Schick Happens, which I think is amazing.
That's hilarious. Well done.
Creativity
Bravo.
and courage, all in one.
And
so way
humor.
to go, Ramondi's. Yeah, and humor. Be courageous.
Yeah, aren't they hosting something on Fridays, like in their driveway? Like it's like a happy hour for neighbors and.
Yep. Yeah, they're basically, hey, what you can open up is your driveway, and a lot of people are walking around their neighborhood more than ever. So they have made themselves known. They are setting up seats. They are there. They've already been establishing relationships with neighbors, and they're going to let God do all the rest of the heavy lifting.
I love it. Hey, right now in the comments is the link, the YouTube link that you can share. Share to a friend, man. Let them know. Hey, there's a way forward, and part of that's going to be us staying calm. Right? We're going to start with convictions. We're going to stay calm. Why? Well, a fearful world needs a fearless church. What if we are that church? I think we're going to be that church, and it's going to be exciting to see all of this take shape in the coming weeks and months. We love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to Live at 8. We hope to see you this weekend at one of our 3 venues, one church, 3 venues. We'll see you guys soon.